How about sustainability? Another big topic. Has always been a topic for shareholders during proxy seasons over the last 10 years. But this year it seemed to take a heightened importance. David?
Yeah, I think sustainability, which is obviously a very broad term and encompasses a lot of different topics, but has been, focus, and a lot of the focus has been on how do we measure sustainability? How do we evaluate sustainability and give investors what they're looking for in terms of information about sustainable factors? And, issuers, I think, feel bombarded by the requests for information and requests for data on sustainability, and there's no sort of uniformity in the collection of that information. For several years, we've had the Sustainability Accounting Standards Board working on their, sort of promulgating their standards that they think are most appropriate industry by industry. And largely during that time, their focus was really on convincing the SEC to adopt that standard and to then mandate disclosure through SEC regulations. And I think they obviously understood that that was probably not going to happen anytime soon, even before things changed in Washington. And so now they're looking at really encouraging what I would say more voluntary disclosure, but only voluntary in the sense that people have to decide that the information is material. And I think where we see changes in terms of information that's being provided and the sort of level of engagement over that is, whereas before so much focus was on extractive industries, energy production, sort of big carbon footprint type of industries, now lots of other companies are now sitting back, technology companies or companies that are in areas where sustainability maybe wasn't top of mind. They're sitting back and saying, from a board level, from a disclosure level, do we have to change the way we approach this?
Indeed.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a huge shift, and I'm going to go ahead and call it right now. CSR and sustainability will be the proxy actors of 2018. Right? If you look at the support levels from last year, which were in the 28-29% range on average for environmental disclosure, sustainability type proposals, we're still running the numbers, but it's going to be 45-46% support this year. That's a massive jump in the space of a year. And I think one of the seismic shifts are organizations like Vanguard, who came out a couple of months ago and said, we will no longer abstain on these votes. Vanguard has historically never voted on this. And in 2018 going forwards, they are going to start casting votes on this. That's going to be a big deal. I mean, Vanguard are a significant shareholder on almost everybody's share registry, right? State Street, BlackRock are going to take a much more involved stance. And just from to sort of change tack a little bit, because I think this is going to be a really big topic for next year. One of the fundamental problems with this is that the way the public issuer community envisages and defines CSR is very, very different in many cases to how the institutional investor define it. From the public issuer perspective, for the longest time, it's been purely about carbon. Right? Tell me about greenhouse gases. Many investors, the vast majority of investors, put many other things in front of carbon disclosure when it comes to CSR. So the corporate community needs to do a lot more work in reaching out to the major investors to understand when they talk about CSR and sustainability, what do they actually mean? Mm-hmm. Because you might be putting out a great message about environment, but if there's 4 or 5 other things that are more important to your investors, you're not having a very effective communication. So you're doing that sort of analysis. It's not easy to do, but that is going to become very, very important.
And I appreciate your insight. And again, you spend your time at Revell sitting, translating for the investment community to IR and others.